All right, so welcome to the How to Actually Nourish Your Body for Your Goals masterclass. You see, I have worked in fitness for over a decade now, and nutrition has got to be one of the most conflicting subjects. And I know how frustrating it can be to be eating healthy and see zero changes with your body, to feel like you are eating relatively well, and maybe you're even working out too, but you just can't seem to lose that stubborn belly fat. Or to feel like you have to be perfect and restrict yourself in order to see results. There is nothing more defeating than feeling like you're doing everything right and working hard to not see any progress. Now, I can promise you, you don't need another diet. Okay, the problem is not that you need to eat less. You don't need another strict diet. You don't need some magic apple cider vinegar drink or detox to boost your metabolism, and you don't need to eat less. Okay, the problem is that you've actually been undernourishing your body. And this is something I see most often, where people don't understand that just eating healthy and actually giving your body the nutrients that it needs are not the same thing. Because most people are eating healthy, but they're not eating enough, or they're not eating enough balance to get the right nutrients in. And this is one of those things that makes it really, really frustrating because you're like, well, I'm eating the right foods, I'm eating all of these things, but your body needs enough of the certain nutrients in order to function, in order to allow you to burn fat. Right. And that's why I'm so excited that you are here because I see it all the time where women they just focus on eating healthy. They don't try to nourish their body. They don't do what I'm teaching here and they stay stuck and frustrated forever. Right. And it's one of those things where you feel like everyone knows something you don't, and it makes you feel like there's something wrong with your body. So I want to promise you there's nothing wrong with your body. Okay. If you take action on what I'm sharing today, you will start to feel better, you will see results, and you will have more energy, and it won't be as miserable as you thought it would be. Okay, and I know that this can be a challenging concept to wrap your head around. Like, what do you mean I need to eat more to lose weight? So I just want to share a very quick example of one of my amazing clients who just started in January. Okay, she's in her 50s and has been struggling with stubborn belly fat for probably the last couple years ever since she had menopause. Okay, and worst of all, she's super active. She works out, she's a runner, she ate really, really healthy and couldn't figure out why her body wasn't changing, right? Just running used to help her lose weight, and now it wasn't working. She thought maybe this was just going to be her body now, right? Maybe this is just what the hormones and age and life did to her. But after I looked closer at her diet and her workouts, I noticed what I see in a lot of women, where they are chronically under eating because they are trying to eat healthy. We are trying to follow all of the diet advice that we get. And you know what happens when we do that is our metabolism actually slows down. So the less you eat, the more your body gets used to the low energy and it learns how to function on less and less food. But the problem is that just because it can function on less food, it means that everything it eats goes to just helping you get by. So, yes, you're functioning, but you probably have no energy, and there's no, like, your body doesn't let you burn fat when you are in that stage because it needs every little bit of food that you are giving it. Like, your body is fighting for its life on the sad amount of calories that you're giving it, which is why you feel starving, but your body is not changing. Okay. So I got her to make the very simple shifts that we are going to talk about today. And she has already lost, I don't even know how many inches off her waist and hips at this point, but her body has changed more in the last 3.5 months than it has in the last 3.5+ years. And she can't believe it. She's eating more, she never feels hungry, and she just went on a trip and was able to stay on track because this framework is so simple and straightforward. So let her be your inspiration. No matter what you've tried, no matter what your age or stage of life you are in, no matter how active you are, you absolutely can lose the stubborn belly fat and create the body that you want. Okay. Now, of course, I'm sure you're ready to hear how the heck she did that so that you can get the goods. Now, here's the thing. Okay, women who lose fat and keep it off, they don't just eat healthy, they eat with intention. And the main intention that I want you to get into your head, I'm going to say this a lot, is I want you to see food as a way to nourish your body. Okay, so before I give you the framework, I want to give you a few perspective shifts because these are what make the framework work. Okay, so first, I'm going to challenge you to change the way you look at food. If you were anything like me when I started my fitness journey, I saw food as something that I had to eat as little of as possible, right? So it was like I was just trying to have really, really small servings of everything because that was what I thought would work. So instead of seeing food as the enemy, as this thing that you have to work off, as this thing that you have to eat as little of as possible, can you start seeing food as this beautiful gift that you get to give your body, right? As something that you get to eat enough of to fuel the body that you want, to have the body that you want. Okay. The next perspective shift is I want to challenge you to stop labeling foods as good or bad. There are no good or bad foods. There are foods that we want to eat more of than others, but that doesn't make one bad and one good. Okay. If you want to label foods, what I use with my clients is we talk about foods that nourish your body and those that nourish your soul. So, our kind of rule of thumb is as long as your body is nourished, you can absolutely enjoy those soul foods. Now, I will get into the nourishing guidelines at the bottom or after this. But once, like for me, when I go out, I'm going out for dinner tonight, right? So my thing is I had an extra big salad at lunch. I had extra protein, all of these things, because I'm like, all right, I'm going out for dinner. I'm probably not going to eat, I'm not going to get all my vegetables in at dinner, right? So learn to see foods as foods that nourish your body and those that nourish your soul, and stop saying good or bad. And for the love of cheese on pizza, stop calling yourself bad for eating something. Stop trying to burn off what you ate. It's ridiculous, and it is also part of why eating healthy feels so hard. Now, the last shift I want you to make in your perspective is to stop putting foods off limits. Okay, I never tell my clients to cut out any food. And the reason is because psychologically, when I tell you, hey, I don't want you to eat bread, I don't want you to eat chocolate, I don't want you to eat or drink wine, your brain doesn't hear the negative. All it hears is eat bread, eat chocolate, eat wine. So that's why every time you go on a diet where you have to cut out food, all you can think about is the food you told yourself not to eat. Like if I told you right now, hey, I want you to think of a pink rhinoceros, you're going to think of that thing. If I tell you, hey, don't think about a blue zebra, you still think about the blue zebra because that's the way the brain works. It doesn't hear don't, it doesn't hear no. All it hears is chocolate, bread, wine. So the more you tell yourself, I can't have this, I can't have that, the more your brain becomes a heat seeking missile. Okay, our brains are very cool. They are designed to help us achieve our goals. And whatever you talk about, it assumes you want more of. So when you put foods off limits, this is why those foods control you. So if you want chocolate, if you want chips, if you want a certain food to stop controlling you, stop telling yourself that you can't have it. Stop making it be this big thing. Okay. And again, that's why I never give my clients strict diets. And also why I don't give them meal plans, right? Because here's my issue with strict diets and meal plans is one, diets only work when conditions are perfect, right? When the week goes as planned, when you have energy, when you don't go out for dinner, when you don't have all these things. But the second you go out for dinner, the second you're invited to a barbecue, shit hits the fan. Your diet goes out the window. Same with meal plans. Meal plans are great until you go over to somebody's house for dinner, until you go to a barbecue, until you go out for dinner. Because the problem is you don't learn how to eat. You were just told what to eat, but you don't actually know how. So that's why I want to teach you a framework to teach you how to actually eat in a way that is sustainable so that you can do this anytime, anywhere for the rest of your life. Okay. And this is where the nourishing framework enters. Okay. So again, our main intention with this framework is, am I giving my body enough nutrients? And that is the main thing I want you guys to look out for. Hey, now, enough what? Now, of course, there are lots of things we can dive into, but to keep it simple and actually something that you're going to actually follow through with, we are going to focus on three main things. So, number one, am I giving my body enough fiber? So many people forget about fiber. And when I sit down with a new client and I look at their diet, right, I look at what they're currently eating, so many people are just not getting, they're barely getting any fiber. And fiber is so crucial for keeping you full, but also for helping you to clear out your system. And just there are so many reasons we need to be eating fiber in order to help us reach our goals and feel good. So for your goal for fiber, 25 grams of fiber a day. Okay, the next question is, am I getting enough protein? Okay. Now, protein is a minimum of 100 grams a day, especially if you are strength training, which I highly recommend. Okay. And protein, so crucial. And when you combine protein and fiber, this is what keeps you full. This is what stops you from overeating. And this is what gives your body the nutrients it needs to transform and to actually feel good doing it. Okay, and the third one is water. So getting minimum 1 to 2 liters of water every single day. Okay, now the easiest way to do this is to one, eat 3 meals a day. No more skipping breakfast, no more skipping lunch. Okay, make sure to eat 3 meals a day. And at every meal, you want to prioritize protein and fiber and drink a glass of water. Okay, so what I want you to think of is at every meal, getting almost like a little bit more than a palm size serving of protein, right? So this is your meat, Greek yogurt, eggs and egg whites. Okay, eggs alone are not enough to be a serving of protein. You must add egg whites or something else to them. Okay, but make sure at every single meal you are getting at least a palm size serving of protein. Then you want to get at least 1 to 2 fruits or veggies at every single meal. Yes, every single meal. Okay, most people are eating a fruit or a vegetable maybe once a day. That is not enough. Okay, so make sure that you're getting your protein and 1 to 2 servings of fruits or vegetables. So a little over half of your plate, like 2/3 of your plate, should be your protein and then your fruits and veggies. Okay, then have your carbs, your healthy fats, or whatever. And here is one of the biggest hacks that I do, and this is what I'm going to do when I go out for dinner, is eat your protein and fiber first. Okay, when you eat protein and fiber first, it makes you feel more full. So you're going to be less likely to overeat the rest. Okay, so for example, I'm going out for dinner. I'm probably going to get a burger. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to order a salad to start. I will eat my salad first, then I will eat the burger, and then I will eat the fries last because the fries are the easiest to overeat. But if I get enough fiber and protein in before the fries, then I'm probably not going to have as many because like protein and fiber, what it does is in your stomach, it is going to take up less space, but it makes you feel more full, right? This is what allows you to eat more volume. And this is where um like you want to start paying attention to that because say your stomach is this big, right? And if like it is so much easier to eat like if you have a cookie, right? The cookie only fills up this much room in your stomach. But you could have an apple and a salad and that fills up this much room in your stomach and it's probably the same a little bit less or a little more calories than the cookie, right? But it takes up more room. So it makes you feel more full. But also, it's not just about feeling full, it's giving your body the nutrients that it needs. Okay, so when you're going out for dinner, always start with your protein, right? So, what protein am I eating? Am I eating chicken? Am I eating a burger? Am I eating tofu? Whatever it is. And then add vegetables. So, this is if you say you're at a barbecue, right? You grab a hot dog, grab some veggies and dip. So, it's not that you can't eat certain foods, right? It's that I want you to make sure you are always eating a protein and either vegetables or fruit first. Then fill your plate with the rest, right? But eat the burger, eat the chicken, eat the veggies first, and then eat the rest of it. And it can really be that simple. Now, just because I didn't mention carbs and fats on your plate doesn't mean that you don't want to eat them, right? We still need them, but I didn't want to overwhelm you guys. I wanted to make sure that this was very simple and actionable for you. And I do want to give you a quick side note and a reminder that carbs are not bad. Okay, carbs literally give your body and your brain energy. Like your brain needs a minimum of like something like 130 grams of carbs a day just to function. Okay, and especially if you are strength training, which I recommend every woman is strength training, not just for health purposes, but for how you want to look, how you want to feel, all of it. But that's a whole other call. Okay. But if you want to not just lose weight, but you actually want to look toned, you need to be doing strength training, you need to be eating carbs, and you need to be eating protein. It is not enough to do one of those things, you have to do all three. And that right there really is the secret to like creating the body that you want is protein, carbs, fiber, and strength training. And when you have enough of those things, that's when you get to where you want. And honestly, like learning how food works in my body helped me to change the way I felt about it and stick with it. Because, like I said, I used to see food as this thing I had to eat as little of as possible. But now I'm like, okay, no, I know I need more protein, especially after a workout, right? I need more protein. I need more carbs. My body needs fiber. And almost every single woman I talk to is under eating protein and fiber. And so I want you to like think about that, right? Think about what you've had to eat so far today. Have you been intentional with your protein, right? Have you had a serving of protein at every single meal? Have you had some fruits and vegetables so far today? Right? Think about those things for yourself. And another thing that I wanted to mention was I know a lot of women I talk to struggle with nighttime snacking, nighttime binging, controlling yourself at night. And most often it is not a control issue, it is not a willpower issue. It is literally because your body is starving for nutrients. Okay, once you learn that hunger and cravings are your body trying to communicate with you, it's going to get a whole lot easier, right? So when you are under eating protein, you are under eating fiber, you are under nourishing your body, this is when, like, even if you're eating, say you're eating full meals, right? You might be eating food, but you're not eating enough protein and fiber. By the end of the day, your body didn't get the nutrients that it needs. So it literally feels starving. Okay, so this is why you feel insatiable at night. This is why you crave chocolate and popcorn and all of these things, because you are undernourishing your body throughout the day. Okay, so I want you to think, right? If you are the type of person who struggles with nighttime eating, first, right, do your little checklist. Before you go to open the bag of chips, ask yourself, did I eat enough protein today? Did I eat enough fiber today? Did I wait too long between meals? This is another one. Like for me, I always notice if I wait too long to eat, I feel super hungry and I end up overeating. Okay, so it's yes, am I eating enough? But also, am I giving myself like eating enough food? Now, this isn't one of those things that you have to eat like 6 small meals a day, but if you wait, you have lunch at say 11 and then you don't eat dinner till 8 p.m., it's no wonder that you eat this giant dinner, you just keep eating and eating and eating. Okay. And then the last question is, am I actually satisfied after eating? Like sometimes I will make a meal and I I felt good, but maybe I didn't fully feel satisfied. So I will have a little bit of maybe an apple with a Greek yogurt after dinner because I'm like, okay, I'm still hungry. So if I'm hungry after dinner, that just means I need more nutrients. I didn't give my body enough food. And when I do that, like I might be craving chocolate, I might be craving chips, but when I do that instead, I just eat the apple, I eat my yogurt, the craving goes away. Okay, now if you are eating enough protein and fiber and you still have cravings, you still feel like you can't control yourself, this is not a nutrition problem, right? This is a mental thing. And again, this is a whole other call. How this is a huge part of what I do with my clients in my program, because this is not a one and done thing, but your mindset, right? Your psychology, the way you handle, like the way you feel your emotions, learning how to cope, all of these things, and just the identity you hold of yourself affects your eating habits, right? If you are the type of person who deep down you believe that nothing ever works for you, you'll never be able to lose the weight, it's just not going to work out for you, and then you start losing weight, your brain will sabotage you because it'll say, hey, we're not the type of person who gets what she wants. We're not the type of person who loses the weight. So you will subconsciously sabotage yourself. And learning how to battle that voice in your head, learning how to become the kind of person who no longer sabotages themselves, that is a huge part of it too. So, yes, it is knowing what to do, knowing what to eat, but it is also being the kind of person who changes the way you think about yourself first, because you cannot outwork what you believe to be true about yourself. And if you don't believe me, look at your life. Every result you have in your life is equal to a story you have of yourself. Okay? Now, if you're sitting there and you're like, well, Ronnie, I feel like I do eat a lot of protein. I do eat a lot of fiber. I want to challenge you to really look at your portions. Are you actually getting at least 30 grams of protein in at every single meal? Are you eating multiple fruits and vegetables a day? Right? And are you doing this 80 to 90% of the time? Right? Like it's one, are you getting enough protein? Are you getting enough fiber? But also, how long have you been doing it? And how long have you actually been consistent? If you're only consistent for 2, 3 days of the week, how can you see results? If you're only consistent for a few weeks and then you fall off, again, you're not going to see results. So you have to be honest with yourself. Are you really doing these things? And if you feel like you are, or you aren't sure, ask for help. Don't make yourself sit there and do this on your own. Like one thing that always makes me laugh is that people feel like just because there's so much information online, they feel like they should already know what to do. But the problem is there is so much bad information online. There are so many people who just have good genetics and give nutrition advice and try to scare you. So what I want you to do is if you really are sick and tired is ask for help. Because this is literally what I do with my clients all the time. I will dive deep into exactly what you're eating on a daily basis and help you make small tweaks to make sure you are getting enough nutrients, enough of the right foods. So if you want some more support on that, feel free to send me a message and I can walk through, we can look at what you're eating and make you a plan from there. Okay, so again, I know this is insanely simple, but you've tried the complicated diets, right? And where has that got you? I promise you that once you start giving your body the nutrients it needs, your body will change and you will realize it doesn't have to suck. In fact, it can actually be very enjoyable when you give your body the nutrients that it needs. Okay. Now, if you want, I have also, I do have a protein and fiber resource to give you ideas of things you can add to your meals. So if you want that, send me a message on like Facebook or Instagram, and I can send you the link for that just to give you a bit of a better idea. Okay. And of course, before I move on, do you have any questions? Right, you can feel free to put your question in the chat. If you're watching on the replay, you can send me a message as well, right? You can send me a message on Instagram or Facebook, and just see if there's anything else that we can do. Okay. And other than that, if you are ready to stop starting over and become the woman who takes care of her body consistently, right? Not perfectly, not obsessively, but in a way that works for life, this is what I help my clients do, right? I'm not just like, yes, you'll get the workouts, yes, you'll get the nutrition, but it's not just about the plan. It is helping you become the woman who follows through with it. Like I said, we go deep into the mindset work, we go deep into becoming that woman. Because at the end of the day, it's not just the diet that changes your body, it's the woman you are on a day-to-day basis. It is becoming the woman who sees your worth. Because when you believe that you are the woman who, you will naturally act in accordance. So if you are done dabbling and ready to do this for real, send me a message and let's make this your year. Other than that, get out there, eat your protein, eat your fiber. If you want that fiber resource, send me a message. Okay. And like I said, if you're ready to stop doing this alone, send me a message and we can chat. We'll make sure that 2026 is absolutely the year that you get your nutrition intact and you end up seeing how good and easy it can be. Because I don't know about you, but I am not spending another year starving myself trying to get skinny. Okay. 2026 is all about being nourished and hot. And that's what I want to help you do. All right, guys. So have a great rest of your day. If you have any questions, let me know. And other than that, remember your body is worthy of food and love every single day, no matter what you ate the day before.